Hello everyone, it's Elizabeth Houston from Elpis Astrology at elpisastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to be speaking about the overall influences and themes astrologically for 2018 as I see it. And January 2018 I think is a big kickoff month with regards to setting the scene for all of us for 2018. So that's an important month for you to be paying attention to. I'm actually doing this video on the 1st of January, so the full moon in Cancer, which is a super moon, will be happening later on today. What an awesome thing to have happen. A super moon basically means that the moon is very close in its elliptical orbit to the Earth. So that would be meaning that you have a lot more influence of the energy of the moon. And the moon is in its home sign of Cancer. So the moon rules Cancer. So this is a bigger influence than normal. And because it's the beginning of the year, I feel what this is basically saying to us is that how we feel matters, okay, about anything. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to wallow in your emotions, but I would say that you do need to pay attention to how you feel. Now, the important thing would be to pay attention to how you feel and then harness the energies of the opposite sign, Capricorn, where we have Pluto, which is transformation, and we have Saturn, which is all about structures and making things real. Harness those energies to make things happen, put things in our lives and structures that are tangible, that make us feel good. So that's going to be an overall arching kind of theme and influence for all of us of 2018. Now, because we do have Uranus entering Taurus, you will certainly feel the tentacles of that energy, and it's a good energy. Uranus is all about unexpected surprises. They could be negative or positive, always difficult to judge. But in Taurus, you're taking that electrical nervous energy, so it affects our nervous systems too, and grounding it. So we may be just feeling a little bit of that in 2018, but more so 2019 and onwards. The birthdays that I see most affected directly in terms of a Taurus is around the 20th, 24th of April birthdays. Now, speaking of Uranus, Uranus still in Aries at the beginning of January 2018 will be going stationary direct, and that's a powerful time for a planet when it's getting prepared to go in direct motion. It's been retrograde for quite a few months now. So again, I would say that Uranus, planet of surprises and unexpected events, you can expect right off the gate that you're going to have some surprising things happen in your life. But don't forget that all these things that happen in our life that are surprises are really to get us on our paths that we're supposed to be on. If persons, places, things are in our lives that are not helping us at all, especially this year, because this is a year of manifestation. And if they're not there for you, not good for you, not helping you manifest what you need to manifest, then they have to go. So I would say, good time to meditate for January. Do your yoga, get into nature, hang out with any of your animals so that you can try to be as calm as possible and in a state to receive new things that are actually good for you long term. And that's a good thing to keep in mind. This is going to be good for me long term. We also have a new moon that's going to be in Capricorn, and that's at 26 degrees of Capricorn, so that's the opposite sign of Cancer. It will be widely conjunct Pluto, and from my standpoint, I see that this is a transformational new moon to put real things in our lives, basically. At the same time, we have Jupiter sextiling Pluto. We have Mars will be sextiling this moon. That's providing opportunities, opportunities for action. And then we have the general overall influence throughout 2018, generally speaking, but also at this new moon in Capricorn, of Jupiter trine Neptune. And Jupiter trine Neptune is just a phenomenal influence of high-level spiritual or altruistic dreams can come true, having true faith and hope. That's that influence of Jupiter trine Neptune at the same time. So this new moon in Capricorn is our opportunity to put new structures in place, new relationships in place that are going to be help express our authentic selves. And why is that? Because at the end of the month, literally the 31st of January, we have a total eclipse. And the total eclipse is in Leo at 11 degrees. And it's also a full moon. So this just continues last year's 2017's eclipses in Leo and Aquarius. They keep happening throughout 2018 too. But because this is at the last day of January, and Leo is all about expressing our authentic selves, guys. So I would say that, take steps if you can. And as I always say, take baby steps if you can't take big steps. But Leo is all about doing things big and taking risks. I would say that if you haven't taken the risks and you haven't taken the steps, at least, towards expressing your authentic self, to being genuinely creative in who you are, who you're supposed to be, that you may have events come in from the outside. Now, these could be people, they could be events, they could be things that change, that force you to get on that path, that authentic path to yourself. But do bear in mind that getting on your authentic path is an important thing for 2018. 2018 is all about manifesting and bringing things into real, tangible things that mean something to you. And again, going back to that whole feeling energy of Cancer that we start off with at the beginning of the year, we also end the year of 2018 in December with a full moon in Cancer. So these are kind of bookends for the year. So it's all about feeling. And you want to channel that feeling through, things like planets that are in the earth signs. So we've got Pluto already in Capricorn, along with newly joined Saturn, which is all about structures. And then, of course, the beginnings of an influence of Uranus in Taurus, which is earthing our nervous energy, our electrical thinking. So an important time to manifest things for sure this year. Pay attention to what happens in January. People that come into your life, things that leave your life will probably be leaving for a good reason. Why? Because they're not helping express who you are. And sometimes that's difficult to accept. Again, go back to meditating, yoga, hanging out with the animals that are in your life, and just going into nature, generally speaking. The month ends with Mercury literally at that degree point of the new moon in Capricorn at 27 degrees of Capricorn. So this tells me that there's probably going to be literally announcements of some sort with regards to structures changing, new structures in our lives, new people in our lives, but also new ways of thinking. And I think this is not spoken about a lot, but I really feel that the whole energies of the planets like Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, Earth sign, and Uranus going into Taurus is all about earthing us and bringing things down to earth that make sense, that produce tangible things for us. So this also applies to our thinking and how we're thinking, being a little more sensible, but also feeling our energies and giving them the light of day and acknowledging that we have feelings and that these are real too. So we have 3 Mercury retrogrades happening in fire signs, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, and they're happening kind of at the seasons. So we're having it spring, summer, and then fall, winter time. And to me, this is saying that the events, things, people, places that come in or out of our lives in between the seasons, we will have to review and rethink and reabsorb new things into our lives that will definitely be affecting how we communicate and how we think. So big year for communication and rethinking and redoing things that are going to be expressing our authentic selves, that are going to be putting us on our paths of destiny, and just making things more real for ourselves. We also have two other planets, and they're the cosmic lovers that will be going retrograde in 2018. The first one is Mars. Mars will go retrograde in Aquarius, which of course is where the south nodes of the moon is, and that is basically things that we should really say goodbye to, or at least try to incorporate them in some way to our north nodes in Leo. So creatively incorporate things of our past, but not to keep defaulting to past things, letting those things go. It's happening at 9 degrees of Aquarius, and it's on the 26th of June. So to me, this says, generally speaking, that our energy may be low, action that we want to take may not be forthcoming, we may not be able to move forward with different things in our lives. A time maybe of rest and gaining back our energy. The next one a few months later is going to be Venus goes retrograde, and that's going to be in Scorpio at 10 degrees on the 5th of October. So Venus retrograde really is about bringing past loves into our lives. Whether or not they're going to be significant and require us to, absorb them back into our lives is another question. I would wait probably till November or so of 2018 before making any major decisions, but I can tell you one thing. With a Venus retrograde in Scorpio, with Jupiter still there, we're going to want to act on it. You are going to potentially just fall back in love with an old love. And you're not going to, it's going to be difficult to actually put logic around, because you're going to be feeling this so deeply. Jupiter being there, I would say, adds an extra element of luck and good fortune. So maybe this person from your past really is meant to be in your life, or maybe brings something back to you that causes you to have some kind of good luck or expansion. Now, Venus also can represent money too, so as a secondary influence, it could be money coming back into your life, or a person that has money coming back to give you your money. That could happen too in October 2018. The other thing we have happening on the 7th of November is that the north nodes of destiny, which are going to be basically in Leo for most of 2018, will now move into Cancer. And then the south nodes will be in the opposite sign, where we have a lot of planets already, in Capricorn. We have our first eclipse in Cancer at 20 degrees on the 13th of July. So to me, this goes back to what I spoke about originally, which is the bookended full moons, one at the beginning of 2018, one at the end of 2018 in Cancer, emphasizing our feelings, emphasizing psychic type stuff, our intuition. How do I feel about this situation? Not how does it logically spell out, not how the facts are telling me, it's how I feel about this. And that these are important things to pay attention to. We have enough activity and planets happening in the opposite sign of Capricorn, where these will exert energies that will help us put structures in our life that make us feel right, that make us feel good. Whether it's literally a structure like a home, the structure that we work in, or our relationships, those structures. Those will all be coming up to be reviewed from a feeling standpoint. Certainly those folks that are Cancers, as well as Capricorns, both those signs are going to be very much affected this year in a positive way of real change. Capricorns can expect more responsibilities coming into their lives. And none of these things necessarily have to be negative, by the way. And then Cancers, this is just a big change year for you, especially as it relates towards the end of the year with those south nodes going in there. The last thing we have happening is the planet of Jupiter, which is good luck and expansion. It's going to be going into its home sign of Sagittarius. So it's going to be very potent being in its home sign. And certainly for those folks that are Sagittarians, you can expect good luck starting towards the end of 2018 and certainly all of 2019 as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be going into all the changes of planets going into different signs, as well as the retrogrades happening as they occur in the month they occur in more detail. So come back every month to see me. And also go to my website. I do put on 2 posts for free of a new moon and full moon every month on my website at elpisastrology.com. I would be delighted to do your chart if you would like me to do your astrological chart for you. And that's on my services tab on my website at elpisastrology.com. I thank you so much for your time, and I'm wishing everybody a great manifestation of your authentic self in 2018. Take care, everyone, and come back and see me soon.